I'll be the first to admit, my aim sucks. I was never really known to be an insane aimer. I'm one of those guys that usually get the "you gotta hit those" comments from both my live streams and YouTube comments. Even this guy suggests I get some Kovacs after watching me whiff a stationary target a few times. And he's not wrong. I could use some aim drills. But to be honest, I'm way too lazy to do that. So in this video, I'm gonna break down a couple of my raids with some tips that help compensate for my inconsistent aim without the need of stuff like aim drills. We're in reserve for this one, trying to make it to the underground bunker to kill raiders for the quest. I always go through White Bishop to get to the underground bunker, but things got a little too spicy. I hear a couple of guys running outside my building. I 100% know they have to pass by this window here. So this is where the first lesson comes in. Crosshair placement. Notice where my crosshair is placed in relation to the edge of the window. I know that the enemy PMCs are coming from this side, so we should be expecting their head to pop out in this area soon. The reason why my crosshair is placed here instead of the edge of the window is because I know that I don't have the fastest reaction time in the world. What I mean by this is that once I see the PMC's head come into frame somewhere here, in real time, my brain will register to left click to fire by the time his head makes it to this point. So essentially, I'm being realistic with myself. You'll see what I mean in a second here. See what I mean? I actually got the kill in that specific part of the window with very minor micro adjustments to hit that headshot. And that's the idea of crosshair placement. To set up your crosshair at head level, wherein once your opponent peeks a corner, all you gotta do is click fire to finish the job without any major flicking needed. But the job's not done. We got one more PMC. Instead of staying in the same angle and potentially dying to a pre-fire from his teammate, I decided to change up my pace from passive to a little more aggressive. But notice how I keep my crosshair still at head level as I'm ready to peek this guy. They're both kind of juice, chat. I hear another squad rolling up on me. I'm playing discreet here, trying to set myself up to get an easy headshot, again using crosshair placement and the element of surprise. One. At this point, it becomes a bit of a stalemate. Two more. I hear two PMCs left. Oh, impact grenade. One threw an impact grenade down the hallway, and then I hear one of them using a suppressed scar and one with a loud SVD. So I know they got some juice on them. The plan is to kill this duo one at a time, so I have to isolate each member. The building we're in, White Bishop, has a basement, so we're gonna use that to flank and mix things up. This is good news. They have no idea I'm downstairs based on that grenade they just threw. There's one here to the left. That's so they split. Them splitting up is a huge deal for me. It's time for me to make a move on this guy to my left who's currently solo. This is a solo. They're both coming back here. Weren't they teammates? Now this confused me. I'm not sure if this was a team kill or they weren't teammates all along. But I swear I heard 3 PMCs enter the building earlier before I dropped the first one with the one tap. But whatever it is, it's now down to a 1v1. That was a good bait. He opened the door but didn't commit to entering. I fell for it and got punished. I'm not gonna re-peek that though. Instead, we'll use the basement again to our advantage. He starts to push and play aggressive since he knows he got me a bit hurt. I play it cool and go defensive. If I hear him push to one side of the building, I reset to the other side. We end up in a bit of a stalemate. And then I decided to pull off my last resort trick I always use when I got nothing else. The grenade bait. I mask my footsteps using this grenade and commit to a full flank. My inconsistent aim shows again, but the bait and flank gave me a huge head start there. Chi-chis. That was 5 PMCs total. The loot was insane. I took what I can and got out. In this next raid, I find a solo PMC in the underground bunker holding the power hallway. He gets a couple of VoIP lines out and does an aggressive flank on me. I didn't commit to the peek since it's a left-hand peek. So like usual, I push to the opposite end of the office to reset the fight. I tend to do these constant rotations up until I can get a completely advantageous position or outplay on my opponent. Basically, I'd rather not have an aim battle with my opponent if I had the choice.
太吓人了。
Oh, what do we got here? Damn, they're still breathing!
He pushed in deep into the power hallway, so I take advantage of this and get an aggressive angle on him in the main hall.
Lay down your weapons and give up! Dies.
I knew he wouldn't expect this angle. And remember, crosshair placement. When committing to a peek, keep that crosshair at head level to minimize aim correction. Another bonus tip, most of my clips in this video where I'm going full auto, I'm actually tapping and not holding down left click. This allows me to shoot at a slightly slower pace to control my recoil a bit better versus just holding it down. If you combine what you learned today with this next video right here, your PvP will improve even more.